don't. You're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sean's show. I am so glad that you're here with me. Give it up for yourselves for coming out. I'm here with George, the best producer in the world, in the universe. It's been a very good week for atheists. It's been a very good week for autistic atheists, depending on the flavor of autism that you have. Elon Musk, we're gonna go back to him later, but there's an earnings report on Tesla that we're gonna chime in on at the end of the session. So stick around for our review and live listen. We're gonna do that's the type of comedy I do. We're doing a live listen of the earnings report, which happens in 46 minutes, and we're going to watch the Tesla executive management team try to explain what everyone else has failed to explain, which is why Elon did a Nazi salute twice. You know, we live in a country where you can do a Nazi salute if you want to, but there's consequences to that, like your stock getting hammered. Actually, can we look up the stock, George? I think it's up today. I don't want to speak too soon. Is it up? Looks up as of around 4. Okay. Up about 4%. Shit. Okay. Looks like doing a Nazi salute profitable in 2025. No, I mean, we'll see. I guess there's already concerns about. Here's the thing: when you have a company run by a guy that isn't even there, I mean, the stock's over like what, at 5? I mean, it's getting fucked. The stock's getting fucked, which we can all be happy about. But we're gonna come back to that. What I want to start with today is a really sad story. Which is our dear Lord, our dear leader, the Pope Francis, has moved on. He has moved on to Judaism. He's converted to being he's a Jew. He's actually not a pope anymore. When the Pope dies, I've thought of this. I was like, does Judaism have a pope? It's Catholicism. I grew up Irish Catholic, so I can talk about this stuff. Catholicism is really interesting because they have like a king in addition to a god. Whereas Judaism and Islam, it's like in Islam, it's like the okay, I want to tread lightly here. In Islam, it's like the box that they all go to. I think that's cool. I would rather go to like hang out and walk around the box than stand like 2 miles away from the Pope while he goes, hello. But this Pope, there's been a lot of conspiracies circling around his death. The Pope was 88. He was a young man. And everything was good. Everything was good with the Pope until he met with our friend of the show, JD Vance, hours before his death. I don't know if it's hours. People are saying it was the day before. Minutes before, JD Vance murdered the Pope. And that's the big story, guys, is JD Vance killed the Pope with poison. The Pope was poisoned by JD Vance's, and not even like real poison. Like the JD Vance like poisoned him with his energy. JD Vance showed up and he was like, "It's so nice to meet you. Have you heard about me?" I don't know. You know, I feel like I like this. I'm actually kind of sad that this Pope died because he was a very good businessman. You know, I think he was a very liberal Pope. I mean, he's down with immigrants and down with gay marriage, and it's like that's all well and good, but it's like I like that he kind of like turned the ship of Catholicism in that direction. But like, where does that but Catholicism is how much, I'm wondering like how much can you do that before you're just not it's not Catholicism anymore, you know? Like, I almost feel like the next Pope is going to be like, there's no God. Like, isn't that kind of where we're going? Like, Pope Francis was like, God, I spoke to God. Gay marriage is actually fine. Like, and then it was like, oh my God, wow, so that's great. The next Pope is going to be like me. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I actually killed God. Like, I actually killed God and drank his golden blood. And that's actually how the religion's going. And also, gay marriage is wrong again. No, I'm joking. No, it's really, I like, he had a good legacy. You know, he had a good legacy, and it's an interesting thing to be the Pope. You got to give it to that. I think that there's a whole, I mean, guys, if you thought that like girls in high school were like petty and gossipy and like bitches, I can only imagine how bad the conclave is. 'Cause that's like world leader popes, not pope, what's the bishops, I guess they're called, bishops from every country that are all like vying to be the next pope. And a real one, and I will say this, everyone is spreading these conspiracy theories that JD Vance somehow was involved in the Pope's death. I don't think that's true. Real ones know that the Pope's death, this is all just product placement to get you to rent Conclave, available now on Amazon Prime Video. Jeff Bezos murdered the Pope because Conclave is not doing well, okay? I have not seen it. I know like one or two people that have watched Conclave. So this, and I'll be honest, the Pope's death has sparked an interest for me in Conclave, which if you don't know is like a drama about how they choose. It's like a dramatized show where they choose the next Pope. And that to me has got to be a very political. It's just the Catholic Church is interesting because it's almost like this, like it's almost like Bitcoin. It's almost like this. It's a decentralized government. It's a decentralized authority that kind of, covers the whole world. And there's like a globe. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things I could say about the Catholic Church that are not that nice, but it's not nice to do that when someone dies. So we are pro Pope. I'm a pro on the show. We are pro Catholicism. And I'd like to do a little moment of silence for Pope Francis. He's a good friend of mine, and I think we should do, let's set a timer, George, for 3 seconds. Let's let everyone listening. I want you to stop everything that you're doing. If you're listening to this in the background, if you're listening to this and you're driving, I want you to pull over. You will not be taking this moment of silence on the road. Pull over your car. Tell your girlfriend to shut the fuck up, or your boyfriend. And we are all going to have a moment of silence for Pope Francis, who shaped the new legacy of the modern Catholic Church. And I'm making up this statistic, but let's say he helped reduce pedophilia by at least 5%. So the moment of silence starts now. All right, we'll move on from the moment of silence. That was about 3 seconds. Are there any interesting tidbits from that news story, George, that we can go over? Or maybe some tidbits. I've been very busy this week, guys. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit. I do have a good show for you, but I'm interviewing for some new jobs. Okay, because I only have 40. Follow the show on Spotify, so I don't have to get a day job. Ooh, that looked interesting. Can we zoom in on that? A nun. I thought that said a man. A nun in Thailand who's a cousin of Francis recalls the moment she learned about his death. Okay. The late Pope's second cousin, who was a Salesian nun at a Catholic school in northeastern Thailand, says learning of his death affected her deeply because, quote, we are relatives. I never expected such news so suddenly. Well, he was 88. What kind of call are you expecting about what kind of new? If you know someone and they're 88 and you get a call and that person's like, hey, I have some news about Francis. You think it's gonna be what? He's ran a marathon? Pope Francis is 88. I have some news. He just ran a marathon. Oh wow, it's great. No, of course he's gonna be fucking dead. Also, why is Catholicism in Thailand? That is bad. That's an interesting type of like it's like theocratic colonization. Why? Like, and that's what like Catholicism, I guess, and as someone that grew up Catholic, there is an odd, and no, I was not molested. I know you're thinking it. I wasn't molested. Yeah, I was not an altar boy. I did go to like Catholic school for 2 weeks. I went to Catholic school for 2 weeks, and then I wore this bow tie that like cut my neck, and my neck was bleeding, and I remember I was crying, and my mom picked me up from Catholic school, and she pulled me out of there. And so I think about like how my life would be differently if I stayed in Catholic school. You know, like would I be in therapy right now for being molested? You know what I mean? Like it's such an interesting religion. Let's take a look at this. Which cardinals? Okay, here we go. This is the juicy hot goss. I want to know like I want to see like I just really want to see the behind the scenes of like the conclave and how they're deciding who the next pope's gonna be, because they're all like they're like old men, but you know they're like being petty. You know they're being bitches. They're like, did you know that Cardinal, fuck, what's a name for like a pope name, like an Italian, Papabile, which are the candidates that are qualified to be pope. What's another name, like Francis, like George? Oh my, but they're Italian. So it's like these cardinals that are like, oh, did you hear about it's like that, like they're being like, here's how the next pope is chosen. It's a bunch of like Italian cardinals, and they're like in a room that's just candlelit, and they're like, did you hear what the Cardinal George said about you? He said that you were a bitch and not fit to be the pope. He's only raped 2 kids. See, personally, I think that all of the popes have at least raped 5 kids. I don't know. I feel like in high school, all the women in high school are like, did you hear what Becky said? She said you fucked Jake. I heard Becky said that you let Jake fuck you in the ass. Is that true? Like, that's the kind of gossip in like high school. I just want to know, like, what's the equivalent of that in the conclave? Is it like, I heard that you raped the 2 kids. Is that true? But like it's interesting because Catholicism is so international that you've got popes from every national. It's like a diverse. Catholicism really is such a mindfuck because it's diverse bigotry. It's like we're gonna get men from every country and come together to hate gay people. That to me is fucking crazy. Like, you have like African cardinals, and you have like Chinese cardinals. Are there Chinese, like, and they all come together to hate, like to molest kids. Oh, here we go. Is that Jakarta? Is that in Africa? I don't know. I'm so embarrassed. I shouldn't even be asking that question. Crowds wait in line to offer condolences in Jakarta. At Jakarta's apostolic nunciature. That's a fucking mouthful. Apostolic nunciature. This shit shouldn't even exist. At Jakarta's apostolic, we literally just want healthcare. I don't know anyone that wants to fund an apostolic nunciature. What is it, a nunnery? The official diplomatic mission of the Holy See in Indonesia. Why does, again, Thailand, Indonesia, why does Catholicism exist in these countries? A somber atmosphere. I mean, like, this is like so, like, I don't know if maybe I'm the bigot, but I'm like looking at all these Asian people lining up to mourn the Pope. I'm like, you guys are Asian. What the fuck are you doing? I should be mourning the Pope, not you guys. You guys are in Indonesia. You should be building skyscrapers. You should be going to fucking Singapore and I don't know. I don't want to spend all episode on it, but we are very sad that he's just dead, and we look forward to the next pope, who I hope will be trans. I mean, really, the next pope better be a trans atheist, or like, I don't know, me, or like a Redditor. I want the next pope to be like a Redditor and just be like, actually, the Catholicism makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know what's so funny is the Pope gets sworn in when he's like, usually like a young guy, like the Pope, you aren't really the Pope until you're 60. So you only really get 20 years of power as the Pope. And so every 20 years we get this like news story where we have to all be sad that the Pope died. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. I couldn't give less of a fuck about the Pope. I couldn't give less of a fuck. How are you mourning the Pope? How are you mourning? Like, I grew up Catholic. I know a thing or two about this religion. Aren't we supposed to not worship false idols? Making a pope. Can the Pope talk to God? I don't think the Pope can talk to God. I think he's just like, that's why this thing is so stupid. That's why the institution of the Catholic Church is so stupid, is that we've created a higher, like, there's all this money. The Catholic, like, let me just say this. The Catholic Church is just a hedge fund. Really, the Pope is not anything else. The Pope is nothing but a general, as a managing partner at the hedge fund. That's really what this is. Like, let's be totally clear. On a day-to-day basis, the Pope, the Pope can't talk to God. All he does is he meets with politicians and he deploys the Catholic Church's capital. That sounds to me like my dad, like a hedge fund manager. It sounds like all he does is, my dad's not a hedge fund manager, by the way, but it sounds like all he does is meet with politicians. He's a figurehead. He's a figurehead for the religion. And what really, and we'll move on in a sec. I know I'm spending too much time on the Catholic Church, but what really is just odd. I don't know what future. Truly, guys, I like religion. I think religion's cool because it brings people together, and that's cool. That's a cool thing. Like, it's cool that people can come together and build community. Around the idea that we crucified the Son of God. I think that's cool. I think it's cool that people in 2025 meet in a building and all agree that 2,000 years ago we crucified and nailed the Son of God's hands to a wooden cross. And we all have like coffee and donuts. Isn't that insane that we like meet in a church? People meet in a church and they have donuts and coffee and talk about how life begins at conception. And then we all get together and we pray and learn about how the Jews, I look Jewish. I could talk about this. What I never understood is that people always, and again, I'm pro-Jew. What I never understood is that people always say the Jews killed Jesus. And then they also say Jesus was a Jew. That I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot, but I'm like, so which is it, both? Because people are like, Jesus was a Jew. I'm like, okay. And they're like, the Jews killed Jesus. I'm like, okay, you can't have it both ways. Like, also, I don't know. The whole thing fucking confuses me, and knowing a lot about Catholicism or any religion, quite frankly, is embarrassing. It's like knowing your moon sign. Like, if you know your moon sign and you're like your moon rising or like your sun, I don't know, like the astrology shit. Like, if you know, like, I'm a Virgo, right? Which means I'm zany. It's just like, I don't know. I probably do know my moon sign, but like, just knowing all of that and like, it blows my mind that like some people are creating an AI that will literally kill all of us. And some people are still in a fucking church worshiping a God that's so clearly not real. And some people are doing both. It's crazy that like you have some of, like I'm working in tech, and some of these like Silicon Valley technologists are weirdly religious, and that should scare everyone. Like some of the people I work with, they celebrate Easter. They've raised $20 million from Google Ventures to create an AI product, and they believe in the Bible. How big of a mind fuck is that? Like, I don't know. I don't know how. That's like this whole. Anyway, South Park's already done this, so I won't go into it. But it's like religious people that try to come. No, they're like, science and religion are compatible. It's just not. It's not. And that's why I'm like. That's why like with Pope Francis, I'm like, okay, I'm glad that like you're trying to make the Catholic Church more inclusive for gay people, and somehow you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, okay? And that was not a sexual reference. You're trying to bring in gays who love holes, and okay, all right, we'll move on. What's the next story? We have Jeff Bezos. Speaking of technocratic psychopaths, my favorite is Jeff Bezos. So Jeff Bezos has a new partnership, and it is the next step, folks, in the dystopian technological world that we live in. And could you scroll up to the headline real quick? I want to give this headline's crazy. Listen to this, guys. Jeff Bezos's Washington Post inks OpenAI licensing deal for ChatGPT search. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. I guess it means that Jeff Bezos's Washington Post is going to sell the articles written by the Washington Post and feed it into OpenAI. And so what is that? So let's read a little bit here. The Post said it entered into a strategic partnership with OpenAI to make the newspaper's content, quote, more accessible in ChatGPT. Under the agreement, ChatGPT will display summaries, quotes, and links to original reporting from the Washington Post in response to relevant search queries. ChatGPT will feature, typo. What is this? The Washington Post? Is this Variety? Who wrote? Hey, Variety, get your shit together. You don't run a spell check? Little typo, little Variety typo. It's embarrassing. I don't make mistakes at all, never. So, but Variety is like a multimedia company. ChatGPT will feature the Post's content across politics, global affairs, business, technology, and more. Quote, always with clear attribution and direct links to full articles. Well, that's great. That's great. So when you're on ChatGPT and you're looking up news or you're looking up information on ChatGPT, which is the new Google, by the way, that should just be said. Like Google's dying. Google is it's odd because Google is simultaneously a monopoly and also dying, which I don't know. Like I've always maintained that Google's a monopoly and that the government should have destroyed that company 15 years, a decade ago. But maybe I was wrong because ChatGPT is starting to eat Google's lunch. I don't know about you guys. I use like Claude. I use ChatGPT probably as much as I use Google, if not more. So I think in the future, what we're going to see is ChatGPT being used to, people are going to get their news from ChatGPT and Sean's show, mostly Sean's show, but sometimes it'll be through ChatGPT. I actually have some news as well. I've entered a strategic partnership with OpenAI. So now anytime you're on ChatGPT and you Google anything related to autism or Bitcoin, my show is going to pop up. Content from my podcast is going to pop up. No, I think it's Well, it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, that it's ironic that Jeff Bezos' Washington Post is now making money and selling their content, basically, so it'll pop up when you search for stuff on ChatGPT. While that should be a concern for everyone, because if you'll recall, in 2017, maybe we could look this up on ChatGPT. Here's the thing, and here's what I'm getting at. If you look up now, since Jeff Bezos is doing business with ChatGPT, guess what? If you type in "who killed Jamal Khashoggi" into ChatGPT, what do you think it's going to say? It's going to say Jeff Bezos did everything he could to help save Jamal Khashoggi from the Saudi royal family. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this story, Jamal Khashoggi was a journalist who was very critical of Jeff Bezos. Jamal Khashoggi visited the Saudi royal family, and that was the last anyone ever saw of him. And the leading conspiracy theory pushed by yours truly is that Jeff Bezos was involved in his murder. Now, I don't know if that's true. Can we look it up? Actually, I have OpenAI. Maybe we can look up ChatGPT. Honestly, I think it'll be pretty. We'll find out. Let's see what it says. Just type in like who killed Jamal Khashoggi. Let's see. You know what I mean? Just type in like Q. I'm kidding. It's Kashoggi. I think. And maybe zoom in a little bit here so people can see. Okay. All right. If you're just listening, here we go. Let's see if I'm right. Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi journalist, and oh no, where did he work? The Washington Post. Interesting. Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi journalist and Washington Post columnist, known for his criticism of the Saudi government. Sorry, he was critical of Saudi Arabia, not of Jeff. Criticism of the Saudi government, was murdered on October 2nd, 2018, inside the Saudi consulate in Turkey. A team of 15 Saudi agents carried out the killing, which involved this is super dark, involved dismembering his body. His remains, could you scroll up for a little, have never been recovered. Sorry, I'm burping through talking about his death. I'm like, have never been recovered. Who was responsible? Multiple investigations have concluded that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman approved the operation. In 2021, a U.S. intelligence report stated with high confidence that MBS authorized the mission to capture or kill Khashoggi, citing his control over Saudi security, The operation was reportedly overseen by Saud al-Qahtani, a close advisor to MBS, who was alleged to have directed the assassination squad. Okay, actually. Now, the thing is, that's basically the rub. I think that's pretty accurate. I don't think that they'll ever mention anything involving Jeff Bezos' involvement with Saudi Arabia, because I gotta imagine that Mohammed bin Salman and Jeff Bezos have done business together. So it's a very interesting world you get. It's a very interesting world we're living in, where you're having, again, these platforms, this is something I've repeated a lot on the show, but these AI platforms are not here. The AI platforms, Claude, ChatGPT, are they useful? Yeah. Are they making us stupider? Probably. But one thing they're not doing is they're definitely fucking not democratizing knowledge. Okay? Nothing where, if Jeff Bezos is involved, nothing's being democratized. I can tell you that much. Things are being autocratized. We're autocratizing knowledge. That's what they're doing. They're controlling information. Jeff Bezos is doing business with ChatGPT, so he can control what appears in ChatGPT. It's that simple, right? He doesn't need more money. The only reason he's doing it is so he can control when you look up Jeff Bezos and ChatGPT, it's going to skew positive. It's going to skew positively. You know? So that's just my take. But we're going to see more of this shit. We're going to see more partnerships. We're going to see a news story where Claude is going to partner with DARPA. We're going to see OpenAI and ChatGPT partnering with the Saudi Arabian government as they murder journalists. And, you know, we're all just supposed to sit around and pretend that it's okay. The saddest thing is Pope Francis isn't here to save us. Now it's going to be an atheist Pope. If the next Pope is an atheist, I might self-immolate in front of the Catholic, can I invest in the Catholic Church? Can I put like 10K into their hedge fund? I feel like there has to be a Catholic Church hedge fund that I can invest some money in. What does the Catholic Church invest? Guys, I'm not even like joking around. The Catholic Church has like $1 trillion under management. Like in that industry, they call it assets under management. The Catholic Church literally has, can we look that up? Can you type in Catholic Church assets under management? I'm not even kidding. Guys, it's a lot of fucking money. How much money is it? Drum roll. Oh wait, I'm wrong. I was way off. I'm sorry, guys. The finances behind the Vatican, they oversee $5.6 billion US worth of assets associated with the Pope, cardinals, Catholic institutions, and dildos. All right, that was bad. Okay, so it's not $1 trillion. I was wrong. It's only 5.6 billion. I feel like it's more than that, but maybe not. Maybe that's their annual budget. Either way, it's billions of dollars. It's billions of dollars that they manage, that the Vatican manages, and I wonder where it's like. Maybe I want a job. I want a job at the Catholic Church as an investment analyst. Like I want to invest the Catholic Church's money into like BlackRock ETFs. I want to invest the Catholic Church's money into. Here's what I want. I want the next Catholic. Here's what I want. Yes, the Pope died and everyone's very sad. I want the next Pope to be like a private equity Wall Street savage that like does corporate buyouts. I don't want the next Pope to be involved in religion at all. I want him to be like, we're buying Chick-fil-A. I want the Pope to come out. I want him to be like, come from poverty, underdog story, grew up on the south side of Chicago, got into fucking Yale, got his MBA at Yale, and like was on Wall Street, and then got into like Catholicism and reconnected with God, and now the Catholic Church is gonna buy Subway. I want the Pope to be like, God told me to buy Subway. We're deploying $1 billion of our capital that you guys gave us. Thank you. You put money, they pass around the basket. I want them to take all that money and buy Subway. I want them to do a leverage buyout of Subway so that God owns Subway, because Subway needs to return to God. Have you been to Subway in the last 10 years? The devil's got a hold of Subway. I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That was a fucking shithole. I'm being mean. It was like I was little detour. I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, opening for a really funny comic, Pete Lee. Really great weekend, great shows. Fort Wayne is funny because it's not exactly in the South. Is it in the South? I'm an idiot. Either way, Fort Wayne, Indiana, I like it. I went and there's not a whole lot to do. And that's the thing. Like every city in America is being infected by this Wall Street real estate private equity consulting strategy where they're all being converted into the same city where it's a flat monoculture. I've been to a lot of cities in America, and every single city that's underneath 1 million people. Every city of that size, 500 to 1,000 to 1 million people, it's all the same marketing pitch, which is elevated modern living with a historic downtown. Every city, believe me, Fort Wayne, Indiana is a perfect example. Every city in America now that's like up and coming, it's elevated modern living in like the condos that were built by illegal immigrants and are, lived in by people who hate immigrants, with a historic downtown. And then you go downtown and you ask about the history, and they're like, we don't like to talk about the history of our town. We don't really like to talk about the history. Elevated living, historic downtown. Put a ring on it. Elevated modern living with a historic, and then you go and it's like Chipotle, Starbucks, Hilton. Every city now, historic downtown, it's a Rocket Fizz, which is like the candy shop. I love Rocket Fizz. It's Rocket Fizz, an indie coffee shop owned by someone from Brooklyn, and a Chipotle, a Starbucks, a Chick-fil-A, and fentanyl. That's pretty much it. But that's why we love America. It's always changing. How long until this Tesla earnings report? They have a countdown. The countdown's getting my dick hard. It's like a countdown to Elon Musk getting the chair. Stay tuned, guys. We are gonna listen into that, which is gonna be really fun. We're gonna listen to it live. Excuse me, I'm eating some candy. I'm sorry, guys. I need to get I'm diabetic. So I think it's coming up. It was like 45 minutes away. In the meantime, let's go. Where should we go next? Ooh, did it start?
Looks like it's live. This is live.
Should we let's listen into whatever this is for a sec. Watch live. Oh, is this this is the live stock price?
So let's take one more quick check at the hourly time frame, and again, we're squeezing here on Tesla.
Oh, this guy. This is my cousin actually. He works.
And something I want to keep an eye on, something for the earnings that I really want to see.
Let's see.
Is
let's see
where
what this
they're
guy's
at with their full self-driving, and
like that fucking matters.
Elon Musk co-founded PayPal, another great company.
You
have to remember that we are going into Tesla earnings.
I think he's
not
pro.
Elon Musk earnings. As much of an impact as he makes, we have to recognize the stock that we're trading and the conditions we have, but we also got to look at the earnings report.
This guy's Catholic, believe me.
Today was poor. We had a double miss.
This guy loves God.
So it's really going to depend if we're going to have some good reports or good earnings or something.
Is this guy pro? All right, we got to move on. I don't like this
says,
guy.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Let's I was about to vomit. Hang on, oh, here we go. Is this it? I guess there's going to be a lot of people that are kind of just live streaming it as well on their own platforms. I wonder if we can go back to that one you found that was like the direct source for it. Yeah, no rush, man. Let's see. I had some more. Oh, I'll talk about this while George looks for that. So there's a very fun story where we have I like to do a little slice of life story. So there's a company that we'll watch a little video. Actually, no, let's do this. Sorry. Oh, I watched Sinners. Let's do that. I watched Sinners, which is a really great it's a really great movie that came out about a few days ago. I think it just had was just opening weekend for it. And it was awesome. It was oh, here we go. Is this it?
It looks like they start at
5:30. 5:30? Oh shit. Okay, so we're 9 minutes away. Okay. In the meantime, yeah, let's talk about Sinners. I like this movie. It just came out, and it's about two black gangsters, which I know is a weird thing to come out of a white guy's mouth, but I'll just tell you guys what the story is. Two gangsters, and they go back to their I don't want to spoil it too much, but really cool movie about the Klan and the evils of slavery, and it's I'll spoil a little bit. Spoiler alert. Okay, just I'm spoiling it a little bit. It's a movie about the vampires and the Klan, and it was fucking awesome. I think that it's very genre bending, very cool movie. So I definitely recommend you guys go check it out. I went to go see it at a very like kind of more a more upscale luxury theater, and they kind of fucked up. I don't know if that's why I'm like, I don't know. I feel like that's part of the reason we can't own. Here's the thing. We can't only blame Netflix for destroying the theater business. I think we have to put a little bit of blame on the theaters themselves, because let's be honest, when you go to a theater, it's usually a bad experience. I don't know if you, and again, I get this is like self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more they're hurting, the less they're able to make it a good experience. So I understand that. But like, if you go to any theater in the last 10 years, you know what's insane about going to like an actual movie theater in 2025 is they play literal ads. And I'm not talking about previews for other movies. They'll play ads in between the previews. And I'm like, no. You don't get to slip that bullshit into the fucking... I came to watch a movie, and fine, if you want to show me previews of other movies, everyone agrees that that's part of the culture. That's fine. You show me a fucking T-Mobile ad, I'll rip your throat out. I'll rip your fucking throat. I came to see the Minecraft movie and yell chicken jockey and throw popcorn and ruin the movie theater workers' day. I didn't come so that you could play a car commercial for the fucking new Volvo. I'm like, that's not a preview. That is an ad. And you don't get to juice your returns like you're selling ad. And that is how you really know that America is in a fuckload of trouble, is the more we jam in ads into every little fucking thing. Netflix, they're jamming in ads into like, I mean, if you've ever watched something on Netflix these days, you pause Netflix and it shows you a fucking T-Mobile ad or an ad for Zoloft. It's bullshit. It's like, I already have T-Mobile. I already have Zoloft. Thank you. I'm good. I've already purchased these products. But again, it's like, I like to support local, I like to support the theaters, but they make it hard. They make it hard because it's, guys, going to the theater is a lot of fucking money. Have you been to like, it's a lot of money. It's $30. You know, I know no one that listens to this has a girlfriend, but if you have a girlfriend, which you've never, you guys, I know you don't know about that experience, but if you have, see, sometimes men have girlfriends, which is when you love someone. And I know that people that listen to this have never felt love and they are incapable of feeling love. But if you go, it's like $100. Like you add up the ticket, the tax, the popcorn, the icy, the weed, whatever you want to do to have a little fun, the beer. It's a lot of money to go to the movies. And so when you show me ads on top of all of the money I just paid you all that money, and you want to show me an ad for a local burger joint, for the local millennial burger joint, like I'll burn your theater to the fucking ground. So let me get this straight. The movie theater business, all of the artists, all the actors, all the screenwriters, the directors, everyone's coming together and they're going, save the movie business. I understand that. I want to save it, but not like this. Not like this. I don't want to save it if you're going to show me an ad for Subway or Jimmy John's. You're going to show me an ad for Jimmy John's before I watch the Minecraft movie. How about you show me a preview for a movie? We need to go back in time. I realize I'm like slowly drifting. This is how people drift conservative. They go, it was good in the past. That is a red flag. And I acknowledge it. I'm self-aware. Whenever someone's like, we need to go back to the past, I'm like, why? Why though? There are certain things though that were better. And so I'm still, don't worry, I'm still, I lean left. I mean, the whole thing, I think the spectrum is stupid, but on a lot of issues, I'm left. But when it comes to the movies, I'm a deeply conservative man. We need to go back 20 years ago when, you know, you could go and it wasn't insane. But go check out Sinners. I thought it was a good movie. I'm not sure if you guys are movie buffs. I really liked it. I thought it was very refreshing. And, you know, there's a lot of great moments. There's good music. It's kind of genre bending. It's horror. It's comedy. It's drama. There's a lot of pussy eating. That's the only spoiler I'll give you guys. But it was a good movie. So go check it out. Let's see. What else do I have on this list, George? We'll do one more story and then we'll jump into the live earnings report, which we're very excited about. That was unplanned, by the way. I forgot. I didn't even know Tesla was doing earnings. But if you guys like the live earnings report that we're about to do, let me know in the comments or DM me, and we can do it more often because I think it's kind of fun. Live reaction to that stuff. Okay. So before we go to Tesla, it's so crazy because the first time we talked about this, we're going to talk about Pete Hegseth, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth, he leaked, or it wasn't Pete, it was actually someone else in the Trump administration. But basically there was a Signal chat that got leaked and it was a big story. They added the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic and it was this big embarrassing story. Get this. Under Hegseth, chaos prevails at the Pentagon. So I guess, this isn't actually what. Basically, there was another story where Pete added his wife to a Signal chat or there was like another military breach, which was insane. Yeah, we can look at that story. Let's zoom in here. So Pete Hegseth is not doing that well. He's not doing that good of a job, according to the failing New York Times. Honestly, I mean, I hate Trump, but you got to give it to him. That is hilarious. He's the funniest fascist we've ever in history. Like, the failing New York Times is just objectively funny. There's bugs and shit the tariffs, guys. There's bugs in my fucking studio because of the tariffs. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth arrived at the Pentagon in January with almost no government experience and huge ambitions to remake the way the military was being run. So first of all, that's just a great sentence. Pete arrives at the Pentagon with almost no government experience. So remember, guys, he's the defense secretary. He basically runs the military, and he had zero experience running shit. I know he's a veteran, but he's not like a general. I'm sorry if I'm old school. I like my defense secretaries to be Raytheon executives. Sorry, it's just the way it goes. I don't like my defense secretaries to be outliers. I don't like them to be black horse candidates. I like my defense secretaries to be CIA or Mossad-backed operatives from Israel. That is who the defense secretary has been, and that's how it should go. Because what you have now is you have an outsider who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't understand that there's a certain decorum that you need. There's a certain decorum that you need to have when you're perpetrating genocides. You need to have a decorum. Pete Hegseth is committing genocide in the wrong way. No, I mean, he's fucking up. And the thing is, this is what happens. This is truly this is the contradiction and of the conservative ideology, which again, there's some things. I'm not just trying to go after conservatives just for the sake of it, but one thing that falls apart is you have guys like Elon Musk who want to cut the federal budget. At the same time, you have guys like Pete Hegseth, whose whole entire goal is to expand the defense budget. And so those things are fundamentally at odds with each other. They're fundamentally at odds with each other. And what you get as a result is you get an administration that's eating its own tail. That's what you get. You get one guy who's like, I want another $1 trillion for defense. And then you get Elon Musk, who's like, I want another 1 trillion kids. I want to impregnate another 1 trillion women. I want to fuck 20 more women so I can have a bunch of sister wives and we can all go to Mars together. That isn't, guys, this is a good transition into the earnings report. We've given, you want to talk about real government waste? It's a little thing called a tax credit, which is something, and we're talking about hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in tax credits that Elon Musk's businesses like Tesla receive merely for operating. And yes, were these things created during the Democratic administrations? Absolutely. And I think it's fucking stupid, because what Elon Musk is doing with those tax credits, he's not making the climate any better. The whole idea behind these tax credits was that it was going to incentivize companies to be more climate friendly. And what ended up happening? Elon Musk got all these tax credits, sold them into the tax credit brokerage market at 90 cents on the dollar, took that cash, gave it to Trump, and then saluted Hitler. And that was not the plan. But that's what the Democrats enabled. And what do you get 10 years later? You get a business that we're going to listen to. You get a business that isn't functionally profitable, run by a Nazi who doesn't even run the company anymore. And all you get are a bunch of aimless, autistic, smart people that could have done something cool and ended up making a car, it's a dumbass fucking car, and the Cybertruck. So, with that, let's. I'm sorry for saying the R word. Let's listen in. Let's see if it started. I don't even know if it's on right now. Let's take a look. Tesla earnings report. Here we go. I hope. Oh, okay. Imagine playing this over Elon Musk doing the Nazi salute. Hey, yeah, hail Hitler. Okay, no, yeah. Okay, I guess they're gonna make us wait. Can we jump to live? I think we're actually.
This is live. Oh, maybe not.
It's funny because. Oh, here we go. Hopefully. Oh my God. Yeah. It's funny because this music is playing before the earnings report starts, and you know it's just Elon snorting ketamine. Like, what time is it? 5:35? It was supposed to start at 5:30. You know it's just Elon Musk and all of his yes men in the boardroom, and he's like doing key bumps of ketamine, and he's like, what am I going to tell Wall Street? What the fuck am I going to tell Wall Street? And they're like, Elon, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Trump's going to save us. And he's like, no, he's not. I'm out at the Trump administration. I'm out. I mean, we'll see if Elon Musk is even on this earnings call. You know? He may not even be on the earnings call. Ooh, here we go. I love it. All right. This is what we've been waiting for.
Head of Investor Relations, and I'm joined today by Elon Musk, Dev Ateneja, and a number of other executives. Q1 results were announced at about 3 p.m. Central Time in the update deck being published at the same link as this webcast. During this call, we will discuss our business outlook and make forward-looking statements. These comments are based on our predictions and expectations.
That was him.
Actual events or results could differ materially due to a number of
This is gonna be fucking awesome,
including those mentioned in our most recent filings with the SEC. During the question and answer portion of today's call, please limit yourself to one question and one follow-up.
I hate the way these fucking losers talk.
Before we jump into Q&A, Elon will be providing an update. Elon?
Hello, everyone. Well, it's never a dull moment these days. One thing's for sure, every day is going to be exciting. As people know, there's been some blowback for the time that I've been spending in government with the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE.
As you guys know, there's been some blowback because I saluted Hitler.
For trying to rein in the insane deficit that is leading our country,
Why-
United States, to destruction.
Why is he talking about the deficit?
And the DOGE team has made a lot of progress in addressing waste and fraud. The natural blowback from that is those who were receiving the wasteful dollars and the fraudulent dollars
Sell.
try to attack me and DOGE team.
He sounds
and
defeated.
anything
Doesn't he
associated
sound
with it.
defeated?
So, but then I'm really left with two choices. Should we just let the waste and fraud continue? We're continuing at it to grow at a really unsustainable pace.
Dude, this is not a
that will
political
bankrupt the
forum.
country,
He's doing a political speech.
or to fight the waste and fraud and. try
Why are
to
you talking
get
about
the country
Doge,
on the
bro?
right
It's your
track.
earnings
I-
report.
I believe the right thing to do is to just fight the waste and fraud and get the country back on the right track and working together.
You don't give a fuck about
President Trump
you care
and
about
his
China.
administration.
They're gonna ask about China sales.
Because if the ship of America goes down, we all go down with it, including Tesla and everyone else. So
Wow, that's not very
I think
optimistic.
this is critical work. Now, the protests that you'll see out there, they're very organized. They're paid for. They're obviously not going to admit that the reason that they're protesting is because they're receiving fraudulent money, or that they're the recipients of wasteful largesse. But they're gonna come up with some other reason.
This guy's like
But that is
suicidal.
The real reason for the protests.
I've-
The actual reason
I want to drink
is
his
that-
blood.
is that those receiving the waste and fraud wish to continue receiving it. That is the real thing that's going on here, obviously. So, now that said, I do think there's
What about the
Um,
business? He did 4 minutes on
You
how
know,
everyone Soros-funded protests.
the large slug of work necessary to get the Doge team in place and working in the government to get the financial house in order is mostly done.
What are we doing here?
And I think
Doesn't I feel like he's getting a
starting
blowjob?
probably in
I feel like
next
he's like
month,
jacking off right now in the earnings in the
May,
boardroom.
my time allocation to Doge will drop significantly. I'll have to continue doing it for, I think, probably the remainder of the president's term, just to make sure that the waste and fraud that we stop
By
does
the
not
way,
come
he-
roaring back.
Can you mute him for a sec? By the way, on the waste and fraud, he saved $150 billion, which is fucking nothing. He promised a 1 or 2 trillion. The number initially was 1 or 2 trillion, and now it's down to 150 billion. Okay? And by the way, the first place that Elon Musk should be cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, it's called the company Tesla. If you want to cut waste, fraud, and abuse, shut down this fake ass fucking company. No one likes the Cybertruck. It's a shitty car. That's why the Cybertruck isn't on the earnings report image. What is that the Model 3? I don't even know which one that is. That's like a Mercedes Benz. Let's not even anyway. Let's keep listening.
The years, and actually been through many near-death experiences.
What? Whoa. Oh, I can't believe we missed that
Probably
part.
were on the ragged edge of death, at least maybe a dozen times.
What?
Many times. This is not one of those times. We're not on the ragged edge of death.
Oh, you're talking about the company. I thought we were talking about him.
But there are some challenges,
Near.
and I expect
That's not what you want to
this year
hear.
will be, there'll probably be some unexpected bumps this year. But I remain extremely optimistic about the future of the company.
You sound optimistic. 12 near-death
Future of the company
experiences.
is fundamentally based on
You fucking cocksucker. Fuck you.
large-scale autonomous cars
No one cares.
and large-scale, large volume, vast numbers of autonomous.
Wall Street's
humanoid
done.
robots.
You're lying.
So-
They don't believe your lies anymore.
The
You're being outcompeted by Waymo.
the value of a company that makes truly useful autonomous humanoid robots and autonomous
Autonomous,
useful
blah, blah,
vehicles
blah.
at scale at low cost.
Autonomous.
Which
You're a
is-
Nazi. You can't make autonomous
is,
I don't want your autonomous Nazi robots. No thanks.
I continue to believe that Tesla, with excellent execution, will be the most valuable company in the world by far. So that's an important if. We must execute well. But
he sounds like
well.
Morbidly depressed. This is why you don't want to be a billionaire,
Tesla
people.
Will be the most valuable company in the world by far. It may be as valuable as the next 5 companies combined.
You want to be worth $5 million and go to Mexico City and call it a day. You don't want to be Elon.
But there'll be a few bumps along the road before that happens. How
about
share a meme? Last earnings call that, we'll start to see the prosperity of autonomy take effect in a material way around the middle of next year. Well, we still expect to be selling fully autonomous rides in June in Austin, as we've
in Austin.
For now several months.
To who?
So that's continued, but
everyone is on fentanyl in Austin. Who are you going to sell to? Rogan?
When does it really become material and affect the bottom line of the company, and start to be a fundamental part of the?
All right, let's get to the wrap it up. Come on, the investors want to ask the questions.
Significant way.
Shut up.
Probably around the middle of next year, second half of next year.
I read Mein Kampf last year.
And then
in Q3 I read Mein Kampf and he made a lot of good points.
It will really go exponential from there.
You can read Mein Kampf autonomously. Fucking asshole. Nazi fuck.
I encourage people to look beyond like the,
I'm an investor, by the way.
So
by the way, I own 1,000 shares.
Of the.
By the way, I don't give a fuck.
Immediately ahead of us.
By the way, I'm shitting my pants right now because if this stock tanks, the Sean show is over. That's why I'm playing the earnings. This might be the last episode, guys.
Citadel on a hill. I don't know.
My fists are clenched.
Imagery, and
we'll now take your questions.
That's where we're headed.
We will now take your questions.
In future, like I said,
come on.
So
come on, Elon. We will now take your questions.
Let's see.
We'll open it up to questions. Come on. Let's bend over, you fuck.
To supply chain risk, something that Tesla has been working on for several years is to localize supply chains.
What does that mean?
This actually makes sense from a cost standpoint, from a logistics risk standpoint.
You've been doing ketamine with Nick Fuentes. You can't talk about localized supply chains.
Supply chains be at least located on the continent in which the car is built.
So you want to manufacture in China?
So we are, I think, the least affected car company with respect to tariffs, at least in most respects.
Oh, that's convenient. Isn't it convenient that you work for Trump and you're shielded from the tariffs?
Yeah,
huh?
A company where margins are still low.
Isn't that convenient?
But we do have localized supply chains in North America, Europe, and China. So
that's not Trump. Does not like. Don't tell Trump that. Someone send that to Trump.
Than any of our competitors.
You have localized supply chains in China. I thought you were dark MAGA. Sounds like you're dark China. He just ODs.
Undoubtedly, I'm going to get a lot of questions about tariffs, and I just want to emphasize that the tariff decision is entirely up to the President of the United States.
I have nothing to do with it.
I will weigh
except for all this
with the President, which he will listen to my advice, but then it's up to him, of course, to make his decision. I've been on the record many times as saying that I believe lower tariffs are generally a good idea for prosperity. But this decision is fundamentally up to the elected representative of the people, being the President of the United States.
So you want lower, so you disagree with Trump?
I'll continue to advocate for lower tariffs rather than higher tariffs, but that's all I can do. So
I heard you cried.
Now let me walk you through why I'm so excited about the future of Tesla.
Okay. No, let me walk you through why I'm really excited.
Unsupervised autonomy will first be solved for the Model Y in Austin. And then
This is like a podcast.
Out the terms
He's literally like name
robotic
dropping, like,
taxi
yeah,
or
you know,
robo
Trump,
taxi, and just generally, like,
terrorists,
what's the
Austin.
Cybercab? Because we've got a product called the Cybercab, and then but any Tesla, which could be an S3, X, or Y that is autonomous, is a robotic taxi or robo taxi. It's very confusing. So the vast majority of the Tesla fleet that we've made is capable of being a robo taxi or robotic taxi. And as we're going from, once we can make the system work where you can have paid rides fully autonomously with no one in the car in one city, that is a very scalable thing for us to go broadly within whatever jurisdiction allows us to operate.
Okay.
So because what we're solving for is a general solution to autonomy,
I hate
not
these
a
guys.
city-specific solution for autonomy.
Can you dial him down a little?
Once we make it work
I
in a
hate
few
it
cities,
when executive people go, what are we solving for? Fuck you. You're not a mathematician. You're a businessman. I think what we're solving for is a really interesting, it's an interesting problem space. Bro, you're just trying to be Uber. Like I studied math. I like math. People in Silicon Valley executives, they love to lift language from cool punk rock academia and use it for their bullshit to pump up their stock price. Because all these guys on Wall Street, when they hear Elon go, I mean, we're solving for something in a really interesting problem space, their dick gets hard. They go, oh, take my money. What are we solving for? Let me tell you something. When an executive says, we continue, you want to sell. You want to get the fuck out. Because that's what they do. They go, I mean, look, I think we continue to evaluate the problem set. And it's like, your business is failing. You saluted Hitler. I think what we're solving for is why in therapy, I think what we're solving for is why I saluted Hitler twice.
we expect to have thousands of Optimus robots.
Just OD. I just wanted
to. This year.
Elon, are you okay? Oh my God, we'll be right back.
And we expect to scale Optimus up faster than any product, I think, in history.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Please shut the fuck up.
Millions of units per year as soon as possible. I think feel confident in getting to 1 million units per year in less than 5 years, maybe 4 years.
Shut the fuck up.
So
we'll open it up to questions. Now we're going to open it up to questions.
2030, I feel confident in predicting 1 million Optimus units per year.
Optimus?
Might be 2029.
Do you know what you're talking? Autonomous.
So,
autonomous.
Let's see. With respect to energy, our energy business is doing very well. The Megapack enables.
Throw it over to the CFO.
Output far more total energy than would otherwise be the case. When you think of the energy capability of a grid, it's much more than say total energy output per year. If the power plants could operate at peak power for all 24 hours, as opposed to being at half power or sometimes a quarter power at night, then you could double the energy output of existing power plants. But in order to do that, you need to buffer the energy so that you can charge up something like battery pack at night and then discharge into the grid during the day. So
I'm so bored. I'm gonna fall asleep.
A massive unlock on total.
I need ketamine just to sit through this fucking report
of any given grid over the course of a year. And utility companies are beginning to realize this and are buying our megapacks at scale. So at this point, a gigawatt class battery is
so boring. So boring.
Thing.
And you know what? This is like
many orders in the hopper.
This is the thing.
And beyond.
This is
batteries.
I think I'm going to do this. This might be boring. Let me know if you guys actually like this, but
the stationary
I want to do this more often.
Ultimately to terawatts.
Because this is not the Elon you see in the media. This is an exhausted, Sad man.
Now,
And this is who he really is.
First quarters of
'Cause guess what?
are usually pretty tricky.
This is the only group of people that Elon Musk is accountable to. It's his shareholders. And that's why he's on his knees actually trying to make a case for this business. When there is none. It's always been a shitty company. We've all been in a Tesla. And we all know they suck dick. Let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. Have you ever tried to get into a Tesla? It's pretty hard. Have you, like, that's not an intuitive door. That is a door designed by a fascist. You ever try to get into a Tesla? That's fascism. You can't get in. You can't get the, you understand? Let me cook. You can't get into the opportunity. You call the Tesla Uber. You try to get in. The handle won't let you get in. That's called authoritarianism. It's a fascist door handle. Okay? And it's not good for the environment. The lithium-ion batteries are poisonous to the environment. And am I biased? Of course I am. Do I hate this guy? Yes, I do. But that doesn't make what I'm saying less valid. I like listening to. I don't want to just focus on Elon. I want to listen to more earnings reports because maybe we could do Raytheon next time. I mean, let's really dive in here because no one even knows that this stuff exists. The general public does not. They don't even know that earnings reports happen. But this is where these people open up, and here's the thing. Here's the powerful thing. It's where they're honest. On the Raytheon earnings report, you bet your ass that they're going to go, yeah, we're going to kill more of them, and it's going to be really profitable because they need to like be honest about their evil. And that's what's fun about earnings reports is it's the only place where executives are honest about evil. I mean, George literally had to look for 15 minutes to find this thing. Yes, in the business community, everyone pays attention to it, but it's so hard to just find the fucking stream because they don't want you to listen to it. They only want you to listen to it if you work at BlackRock. Oh, I think
Bob has some opening remarks as well.
Ooh, okay.
Thanks, Elon. As Elon mentioned, in Q1, we achieved something which has never been undertaken in the automotive industry of updating all our factories for the best-selling car in the world all at the same time. And this people don't understand, this was not a small feat. We're not aware of
it sounds like they're dying.
All at once within a quarter.
You know Elon has a knife to this guy's fucking balls. He's like, you better fucking save my company, Suresh. I'll slit your fucking balls off. You understand me?
Additionally, we also hit record gross profit for
He's literally shaking. He's like, record profits? Record profits?
Back into the business, there's been a lot of speculation as to the reasons for decline of our vehicle deliveries in the first quarter.
No, it's not a speculate. It's that he saluted Hitler. Remember that?
And this will lead to.
Remember when your boss saluted Hitler, Suresh, or whatever? That was. I want to be racist.
The ripple effect of the change is not having enough new Model Y available in most markets for people to see and experience till the last few weeks.
All right, I'm bored. I don't want to wait too long for the
negative impact of vandalism and unwarranted
let's keep going.
Towards our brand and our people had an impact in certain markets. Despite this, we were able to sell out legacy Model Y in US, China, and a few other markets within the world. And again, just so people understand, we were producing the legacy Model Y till middle to end of February. And we switched over and we were able to still sell out within that period. So again, big achievement by all the people at Tesla to make it happen.
I don't care. Don't self-congratulate.
We have a very extremely competitive vehicle lineup, which
don't. Nope.
Vehicles going through a recent update.
Nope.
And add to that advances in FSD. You have a personal chauffeur which can take you almost anywhere.
Waymo has it already. Waymo's already doing it.
Stories shared by customers ranging from how it has improved their daily commute to providing mobility to customers with disabilities.
So let me get this straight.
Older customers
Can you dial it back a little? So this Tesla is always pretending that they're first to market on shit, and they're going, pretty soon you're going to be able to have a personal chauffeur with no driver. The car shows up and you go. Waymo's already doing that, okay? Have you been to Vegas or Austin or San Francisco? Waymo, which is Google, has already done it. So you're not even first to market anymore, which was your first. That's Tesla's whole thing is we're first to market. We're the most innovative. We have the smartest engineers. Waymo beat you guys, okay? So what do you have left? You have a board. You have a CFO and you have a management team that sits there with their dick in their hands while the CEO of their own company is in the White House trying to stop the US from funding salsa dance lessons in Indonesia. And that's where we're at right now is you have listen if you guys like here's I want to focus on this because here's how fucking crazy that this guy is. Really think about it. He opened up his remarks for the Tesla earnings report, and most of the speech was on Doge. Most of the speech was on his failing external government agency where he is trying to cut the budget and it's even failing at that. So he opened this earnings report talking about a failing thing he's doing, another failing thing. I want to hear the questions from Wall Street. That's what I want. I mean, I hope. I think this guy's going to wrap up because the most fun part is when the Wall Street guys go. They go, thanks, Elon. It's Jared from Bank of America here. Are your Q2 deliveries? How is Q2 deliveries in China? And then some of them are like, thanks, Elon. I really liked you on the Joe Rogan Experience. Oh, thank you. It's like, and people being an Elon stan in 2025 is crazy. How are you going to support Elon Musk? I've never been more right about a human being in my life. I literally, 2014, I clocked this guy as a fucking asshole. 2014. 11 years later, here we are. Here we are, 11 years later. And, I just couldn't. This is a victory lap for me. You understand? Nothing brings me more joy than hearing Elon Musk go, I'm really excited about the future of Tesla. Like, you can hear it in the little things. Like, when I say I'm excited about Sean's show, I mean it. I'm not going, thanks, guys. I'm really excited about Sean's show. We'll see you next week. I'm like actually excited. Okay, let's keep listening.
Market standard for Bitcoin, we expect increased volatility in other income in addition to the effects of volatility. I know tariffs is the hottest topic which people talk about, and it has various impacts to our business. As Elon mentioned, on the vehicle business, we've been on this journey of regionalization for years. Specifically in the US, Model Y has been rated the most American model made car on cars.com.
Can I say something else, George? I just remember this. What's sad? And again, I'm saying this as an Anglo-Saxon white guy, and I'm totally aware of that. It's kind of sad that this guy, this Indian gentleman India was colonized by the British, and here he is being a foot soldier for Elon, for a Nazi. But on the flip side, I'm like, get your money. I'm like I'm from the Silicon Valley, I'm from the Bay Area, guys. I kind of respect the emotionless, competitive Asians and Indians. I respect the fuck out of that because it's like their parents went through hell to get to America. So I totally get. Like, let's just have this guy be the fucking CEO. This guy seems reasonable. He's talking about Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I like it. I hope he wraps up. I want to do at least one question, but we can wrap it up in a sec.
On the energy business will be outsized since we source LFP battery cells.
This is live, guys. Just so you know.
The process of commissioning equipment for the local manufacturing of LFP battery cells in the US. However, the equipment which we have can only service a fraction of our total installed capacity at later. We've also been working on securing additional supply chain from non-China based suppliers, but it will take time. Also note that, irrespective of all the impact on US from tariffs on the energy business, we do have Mega Factory China, which just started operations in Q1.
Huh.
And
interesting.
That should take care of our business.
So they're
outside of
building a
US.
manufacturing plant in China. This is the hypocrisy of CEOs, of billionaire executives. They do not, I'm telling you, you listen to this stuff and they literally say it to your face. The CFO of Tesla just said that they're building a gigafactory in China. And Elon Musk is just sitting there like, yep, that's what we're doing. And it's like, okay, bro, I thought you were dark Gothic MAGA. Or are you just a bitch? Or are you just looking out for yourself and lying and you're a liar? You're a liar that does ketamine. I've met liars that do ketamine. And they suck. That's who this guy is. He's a liar that does ketamine. I hope we'll wrap. I mean, we got to wrap, but I wish they could, maybe we can do it next time, but I wish they would open it up to questions, but I guess not. Okay, well, maybe like 2 more minutes. We'll see. I want this guy to fucking finish.
And this is the reason we're still focused on bringing cheaper models to market soon. The start of production is still planned for June.
And now we will.
Advancement in FSD related features, including pilot robotaxi launch in Austin later this year.
How many times are you going to mention Austin, Texas? I would like to fuck Austin. Fuck. Can I say that? Fuck Austin.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Vaibhav.
And now?
Now we will move on to investor questions.
Yes.
We will start with questions from say.com. First question is, what are the highest risk items on the critical path to robotaxi launch and scaling?
Thanks for the question.
It is Ashok.
Yeah, we've got Ashok on.
Sure. Well, just to clarify the disambiguate the cybercab from robotaxi once again.
Cybercab and
so
okay.
When will the Teslas, because the Teslas that will be fully autonomous in June in
this guy's
Austin
brain is fried.
will be Model Ys.
His brain is fried.
So that is that's currently on track.
You know what the vibe of this is, George?
To be able to do paid
the vibe of this
fully autonomous
is like the group project that's like is fucked. It's literally just like, so did you do your part, Jason?
And then
no, I couldn't get it done. I'm sorry.
By the end of this year.
What about you, Elon? Did you work on self-driving cars? No, I mean, I kind of I'm still working on it, and I'm like, but it's due tomorrow. So, yeah, I know.
We'll wrap up very quickly. So it's going to be like basically an S curve where it's very difficult to predict the intermediate slope of the S curve. But
shut the fuck S curves. You don't know math. You don't know math. Intermediate slope of the S curve. You're a Nazi.
That's why I feel confident in predicting large-scale autonomy around the middle of next year.
This is how easy it is to be a billionaire. All you have to do is say, I don't know the intermediate slope of the S curve. Large-scale autonomy. Robocabs. Here's $1 billion. Autonomous LLMs.
Next year.
Autonomous large-scale LLMs. Well, I mean, look, I was talking in Austin, Texas with Joe Rogan about autonomous LLMs. These retards on Wall Street will give you $1 billion. And that's the world we live in. It's very sad. All right, we can quit out. Let's wrap it up. You guys can watch the full thing on your own time. If that was fun, let me know. I had fun. Honestly, I'm doing it again. I don't care what you think, because that was fun. Whoa, the chat's. I guess let's close it out. Is the stock? I guess it's after hours. Let's see how the stock's doing. Oh, it's up. Well, I guess no one's listening to me. It's up 4%. The show continues. That's it, guys. Review the show on Spotify. follow. If there's one thing you do, just follow the show on Spotify or like it on YouTube. It helps a lot with the algorithm. And we'll check out the Patreon. I'm like way behind on Patreon. I apologize. We're gonna get back up to speed on the Patreon. And stay safe out there. And hail Satan. We're gonna remember to say a prayer for the Pope. He's in a better place. He's in hell. Okay. So are we. Goodbye. That's it.